Philadelphia is out of control. Detroit is out of control. Atlanta is out of control. Places are out of control.
He wants to say the N-word so badly, but you know his campaign is telling him, don't do it. You have to do that closer to Election Day. That way you can get a boost with your base. Now, Donald Trump is angry about a lot of things, including the fact that anything negative is allowed to air about him on television, including ads from his opponent. MAGA has called for Kamala Harris to pull all negative ads against him because he got shot at by other Republicans. Now, Trump also has an absolutely terrible plan for tomorrow. You see, when there is a natural disaster, what is something that you shouldn't do as a politician? You shouldn't bring a massive entourage and shut down areas for a photo op. It is absolutely disgusting when politicians do that. That's why you didn't see people going to East Palestine, Ohio, like Joe Biden didn't immediately rush there and shut down efforts to help the locals because the Secret Service would have to lock down the entire area. You don't see that because it's disgusting. Donald Trump has absolutely no morals. President Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States, will visit Valdosta, Georgia, to receive a briefing on the devastation of Hurricane Helene, facilitate the distribution of relief supplies, and deliver remarks on the press on Monday. So he doesn't have to go in person to get a briefing. He doesn't have to go in person to deliver remarks. And how is he going to facilitate distribution? Is he going to chuck paper towels again? If you didn't know, when he was at the football game, he got some practice in. He chucked chicken fingers at people. It's a real thing. Look that up if you haven't seen it. It's very Trump. Now, Trump also, he had a speech today, and that speech went how you would expect. He talked about how he hates overtime, and instead of paying overtime, he would bring in new people. Donald Trump would not pay his workers overtime. Now, this really matches well with Project 2025 that wants to change the way that overtime is actually calculated so you'll do that level of work but then not get overtime pay for it. Makes sense when he says no tax for overtime. It wouldn't exist. Trump called for a day of violence. That's not hyperbole. That's not an exaggeration. He called for a purge-like scenario to get rid of petty criminals like shoplifters. You can watch his speech yourself, and I recommend you do. It is crazy that he's saying so much violence, encouraging so much violence. He's doing this while claiming Democrats are the ones encouraging violence, while he is getting shot at by Republicans. But he keeps encouraging violence in Republicans, and just today, I don't know if you saw this, and we don't know if this is connected to him, but I will mention because there's been so much push from the right that you should be able to run over protesters. Remember that? You got to run over people that are blocking roads and stuff. Someone died at a union strike because they got run over. I'm really interested to see when that person that did it gets identified and if they were online promoting running over protesters like you hear from many conservative figures. Now, Trump also talked about how he wants to close the Department of Education, a core part of Project 2025. He says, what the hell do you have to lose? Well, you have to lose the entire education of your child. Your child's future is what you have to lose, and you can choose to lose that if you vote Donald Trump. Now, last time Donald Trump spoke on a stage, he blamed Kamala Harris for his small crowd size. Today, he blamed Joe Biden for his small crowd size. She really caused a lasting injury when she hit him in the small crowd size at the debate. And then today, people were leaving his rally early. And when I say leaving early, I don't mean, like a few. I mean, even the people behind him started to leave early, on camera, while he's speaking. But Trump did get the crowd to chant, "Lock her up." Now, of course, in his previous speech, Trump got some media attention because he called Kamala Harris a mentally disabled person. So Donald Trump lost the debate to someone who's mentally disabled. That's something he claims. I don't know why he thinks that's a positive. Maybe that's why he's inching closer to just saying the N-word. He doesn't know what else to say at this point. Now, non-Trump related, I don't know if I'll make a separate video on this part or not, but there is a guy whose campaign I have looked a little bit into. His name is Derek Anderson in Virginia. Now, why is Derek Anderson so interesting? Well, if you look at Derek Anderson, he likes to be photographed with his wife and kids. He has photographs at the dinner table with them and the dog sitting on steps. He has, the photos outside their house posing. And then you find out he doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have kids. I don't even think it's his dog. What's going on? Well, J.D. Vance made having a family a core part of the MAGA identity. So this guy is faking a family. He's posing with someone else's family for campaign ads. Wild. But it's true. Just search Derek Anderson family, search Derek Anderson campaign. Anything you see with him with a wife, a kids, with a dog, he doesn't have a wife and kids, right? Like, everything you see that he puts out is because he wants it to look like he does. And that's not all. CNN is finally covering something that's going to really upset Elon Musk. I could see Elon Musk banning CNN from Twitter. They're covering an interview with Elon Musk and his brother, where his brother publicly, outright states they were illegal immigrants. Yes, Elon Musk was an illegal immigrant. All of his posts complaining about illegal immigrants and everything like that, he was one. But I'm sure he thinks he's one of the good ones because he's white. So, what do we have to look forward to tomorrow? Well, I don't know if there's any J.D. Vance events. If there are, nothing really stuck out. But Donald Trump is planning to go to Georgia and facilitate distribution. Whatever that means. I would not be shocked at all if he gets a whole bunch of locals that he can find and chucks paper towels at them. Wouldn't be shocked. He was chucking chicken fingers, right? And I think he views that as a positive. There were some articles and comments after, it was negative coverage when he did that before as president. He thought it was a good idea. And Trump's old and weird and doesn't learn. So there's a decent chance that he is going to have the Secret Service lock down an area, prevent transportation through the area, slow down resource gathering, just mess up emergency response for a photo op. Probably complain, why isn't Joe Biden here ruining the recovery? Maybe he'll go and pose with some other Republicans while he does it. And then I assume he's going to chuck some paper towels into people's heads and then go on Truth Social and talk about how great he is. Maybe he'll have some new thing where we'll fix the flooding with buckets, kind of like how we'll fix the forest by raking them. Natural disasters really show a difference between the parties. The Republican governor of Tennessee didn't even want to declare an emergency until the very last minute, until his people were already suffering, because he was hoping he could do a middle finger for Joe Biden politically. He was willing to endanger his people. And here we have another instance where Republicans are going to get in the way of efforts to actually help people to make it look like they care. Because Trump doesn't care. We know he doesn't care.